Hmm. Hello, can you hear me? New setup, so I'm trying to figure this out. Good afternoon. Can you hear me, Delaney? Yes. Oh, good. Oh, good. It's working. I've got OBS connected to YouTube and to another camera so I can do the artwork here. Now we can hear you. Okay, good. All right. Well, happy Thursday, everyone. I hope your week has been productive. Yes. All right. Yeah, quite a bit of a delay in there. I thought I'd bring you into the craft room, the craft corner, crafty corner. I do all kinds of things in here: sewing, painting, crocheting, writing, all kinds of stuff. Hi. Let's see. Who do we have here so far? We have Delaney and Pepper Leah. You must be in between appointments, Pepper Leah. Yay. Well, we may have others later. For right now, welcome, you two. I see you've been chatting away. I need a little bit of water. I've been running around, running around. I even still have my apron on from the kitchen, but that's okay because when I'm painting, I'll need it. Do either of you like to paint? Have you done so in the past? And I am going to check this. Switch cameras too to see if you can see. Oh, yeah. Well, I can see it. Now I need to know if you can see the painting over here. I switched it to a different camera. Well, good. I'm glad your foot is up. That's what we need to hear. Okay, now I need to switch cameras. You love painting. Yeah. You know, it was a time I'll have to share that story. And that's the time that I really learned how to paint. I had plenty of time to learn how to paint. Mm-hmm. Let's see which direction. Well, I have it centered there, so that's good. There's a little one that I did a rock cottage of. Sarah's Happy Hives. Oh, hi, Sarah. It's been a while since I've seen you or been over to your page. Yeah, new from Okies Eden. I knew that name. I recognized your name right away. How's the bee business going? We have a neighbor. I would like to paint some bees. That's a really good idea. We have a neighbor who was gone on vacation, and they came home to a whole swarm of bees on one of their tree branches. So they had to quickly get a hive set up for them and got the queen bee in there and got them all collected before a big tornado storm blew through, and they saved the whole hive. They have a little mini farm behind us here, so it was nice that they were able to help. Yeah. So, okay, today what I planned on doing was talking about some watercolor painting. I've been doing all kinds of stuff. It's swarming season. Oh, yeah. Well, this was about a month ago, but we're down here in the south, so we might start a little earlier than others, I guess. Um, anyway, I've loved to do acrylics in the past, and I think I have one on the wall there. Oh, right there. A couple of them there that I've done in the past, along with some others, but I sold a lot of them when I lived up in Idaho. I after a motorcycle accident, I yeah, I went off an embankment in the woods way up in the mountains, and just held on to the motorcycle and prayed when I realized that I was going to be heading off this embankment. But it was my first time on a motorcycle, so I didn't realize I should have just let go and fallen. I grabbed on with gusto and just prayed and closed my eyes and said, "Okay, Lord, this is it." And for some unforeseen reason, he had me miss every single tree. But when I hit the bottom, flew off the top like Evel Knievel, and then hit my whole left side on the ground. When I landed and when I opened my eyes, there was a big rock in front of my face. And of course, I didn't have a helmet on. Yeah, wasn't a good thing. Shouldn't have done it, but I did. And that was my one and only time on a motorcycle. And I say that because that put me up for quite a while, Delaney. I got to sit still. God said, "Be still." And I had one good arm to use. Everything else was injured. So I painted and I painted and I painted, and I learned how to do more painting. It was a close call. It was a close call. It was stupidity on my part, I have to admit. God had mercy, and he said, "No, you still have work to do, and you're going to suffer for what you did." No, he doesn't talk to me that way. But I do have work to do. He's given me lots of work since then, and many, many grandchildren, so I'm glad I didn't miss them. Glad I didn't miss them. Hi, Nikki. Good to see you here. I hope you heard the motorcycle accident story. Anyway, that's what got me up in the corner alcove near the window in our house. My husband set me up in there, and I spent, at least a couple of months in there just painting away because, and I'm not, I haven't done it in a while, and I've gone from acrylics, like I pointed out there, to watercolors. And if you're familiar with any of it, watercolors are much more fluid, and they're not as easy to control. So I had trouble with watercolors at first. It was difficult to just put that on there and let it flow, let it fly, be free, be happy. I'd prefer oils, but I can't handle the smell. I get hives from all the odors. So because that way you can put it on and you can blend it and you can move it, and you can do that a little bit with acrylics if you add some medium to it that will make it dry a little, make it wet, stay wet a little longer, and then you can kind of blend the colors, but not as much. With watercolor, I transitioned to, this was the one painting that I wanted to show you before I started on this. This one has the ink. It's ink and watercolor. And that way I used the ink to first pencil and then erased it all after I put the ink over it, the ink drawing. And then I would fill in with the watercolors. And that helped me a little bit, helped my brain to control the colors and the whole thing. And that helped because then I went more free form to something like this, which I love, and it's still a little more controlled than some of the free form wet on wet things, but I'm not there yet. But we will be doing a little bit of painting without the ink today. I don't, let's see. Oops. What I've done is use some watercolor paper, and it's really, if you're going to start with anything, you need to get a good watercolor paper. It's thicker and it's got a texture. What kind of ink did I use? Yeah, I was going to show you that too. The watercolor paper this is a 140 pound, and it's cold processed heavyweight paper. And then I can cut it with my paper cutter to any size that I want. And I've got several of these little for mini paintings. I've got some for bookmarks that I've done in the past. And then the ink that you were asking about. Let me switch it here. So you can see this a little bit better. It's called a Micron pen. I bought them in I think it's a 6-pack Micron pen. I think you can see that there. I put the link in the description of this video of all the things that I'm using. The paper, the Micron pens, also this Grabie kit of watercolors. It's just a little kit that I actually bought for one of my granddaughters because she was traveling. And I liked it so much, I picked one up for myself. There's a little water pen in here that holds water, and you can actually brush with it. It's a paintbrush. And then you can also use and blend all of your paintings in here. You spray them, mist them. Yeah, I think it was really inexpensive. You can get one that has lots more colors, but I'm finding, I taught the grandchildren about painting all their lives. That was my job, homeschooling. I got to teach them. And the oldest 2 daughters are, oh my goodness, they've way surpassed me in talent now. So I thought, I need to get started, because they asked me the other day, Omi, where did you get your creative talent from? You gave it to us. Where did it come for you? And I had to stop and think. I didn't have anybody in my life that taught me how. And my husband was passing by at the time that she asked that, and he said, God gave it to her. And I had to stop and think, really think. I truly believe that's it, because I can't think of anybody in my life that taught me how to do art. It's just like the motorcycle accident. I sat down, and that's one thing that I always wanted to try was painting. So there it was, and it came out. Or singing, same thing. I think he's just made in all of us. Let me know if that's true for you, or if it's just maybe certain people that have that love of beauty and creativity. Our God made beauty and created so many beautiful things around us, and he made us in his image. So I always assumed, I guess, that that's where it came from. It came from him. I forgot to put you back on the screen, or me back on the screen. There we go. And I could have had my water. Before that, you used to do watercolors. Hi, Margaret. Good. And Sarah, Margaret and Nikki. Yes, gifts from God. I think so. And everybody has different gifts. Nikki says, I know nothing about painting other than what we did in elementary school. So this is very interesting. I enjoyed your video of painting. Yeah, I did a time-lapse video real quick of that cottage that I showed you, the rock cottage. And just using a pencil to outline it, and then the Micron marker. And then you can go in with your watercolors and fill it in. But I'll show you a few techniques today. So let me get my water bottle out of the way so I don't confuse my water bottle and my brush rinsing, because I've done that before, not paying attention, and I drink right out of my dirty paint water. Creativity is God-given. Yeah, we all have different talents, different gifts. So lately, Psalm 23 has been on my mind. I discovered diamond painting last year. I'm not sure what that is. Diamond painting. You'll have to let us know, Sarah. Oh, thanks for posting the link there, Delaney. Okay. Where is it? Psalm 23. That's where I was. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures beside the still waters, and he restores my soul. That's been on my mind. So I thought I would paint, maybe a meadow, a hillside with some sheep and a tree, a beautiful place by the water, to remind me that God is with me and he's with you. Margaret says, when you forgot your phone, God says, draw and paint. Yeah, drawing is not my, I don't have a big talent in drawing. Actually, the two oldest granddaughters are incredible at drawing and painting. And I think that's maybe where I need to, if I'm going to get better in painting, I need to start, because I can tell their drawing has helped them become beautiful artists. And the most recent the oldest one did, she just whipped out in a day and it was like nothing, and it was gorgeous. I posted a video called ASMR diamond painting. Okay, Sarah, I'll have to go take a look. Maybe all of you can take a look. If you want to share the link, Sarah, that'd be great. And then Delaney, maybe you could make it a hyperlink here. Okay, for watercoloring, first off, what I plan on doing is putting the camera on the paper so you can see. Chris and Ty are amazing drawers. Good. Yeah, I encourage that. Encourage that creativity. All right. Now I've got a wider brush. It's a flat cat tongue artist brush for watercolors or acrylics. And if you're ever going to paint, don't ever mix your brushes with oil and acrylic and or watercolor, because the oils will ruin your watercolor brushes. So I'm going to take some water and just put it in the sky area to help my blue paint not be so bright as I put it in. And then I'll dip into my palette and choose a little bit of blue. And I've got a little pad so I can check the color. Yeah, that looks about right. I just want to brush it in there so you can see the edges. It's a little dark, so I'm going to put that little more water on there. I really do want it a little darker, but I want to be able to control it. You're brutal on brushes, pinatas, and pastes. Yeah. You can see why it's good to have the thicker paper if you're learning. Using inexpensive paper, just a couple of swipes with a wet brush starts to ruin the paper and make it buckle or I think I need to bring the sky down a little bit too. A little lower. I mean, it's easy to blend the colors too. Really looks like nothing yet. You know, I always watch these ladies doing painting and think, what is that going to be? And then this trick is really nice. I take a paper towel and just blot it out to make a few clouds here and there. If it's too dry, it doesn't work. But it's easier than leaving room or white space for a cloud before you even start. And then you can go back and add a little more underneath the clouds to help define them and give a little more detail. I've never filmed myself painting. Sometimes I'll catch myself not breathing. Oops, too much. So we'll just cover that right back up. So when was the last time you saw some white fluffy clouds up in the sky without those crisscrosses? Hey, you're ahead of me there, Pepperlia. Happy little trees. Okay, well, I can always go in and make them better later. I'm just trying to get the background done. And that's it. When you're painting, you use chalk on pictures too. Yeah, I have. And also, here, we got to get the idea of a meadow out here. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness. Awfully bright. But that's all right. You know, one of the things that is very intimidating is an empty canvas. And when I started thinking about wanting to do this for you, I thought, I can't do that. It's been so long. And oh my goodness, how am I going to do that? What am I going to paint? So, yeah, like Margaret said, one of the best things to do is pull out chalk or crayons or paint. Yes, and make happy little accidents. Exactly. Bob Ross he was great, wasn't he? He was just great. Do any of you raise lambs or sheep? Do you identify with a sheep? I think after this morning's message, a lot of us do, huh? I'm trying to create the hilly parts in a meadow, different layers. What you are feeling shows what's on the canvas. Yeah, the empty page canvas mocks you, doesn't it? It does. Uh-huh. Oh, look at that. It's starting to run. We just do this. We just do this. And start over. Trying to get a little bit of water back there. Maybe make that a little darker, huh? He leads me beside the still waters, and he restores my soul. Maybe what I want to feel? Yes, it's intimidating. Yeah, but I mean, do you know how scary it is to be on film doing this? It's very scary. Very scary. But that's okay, because we all make mistakes. Or though, like Bob Ross says, it's happy little accidents. Right? I didn't take the color all the way out to the edge. Sometimes, like I did on these mini paintings, I took some wasabi tape and put it around the edges so that you get a nice clean edge around your painting. But if this goes in a frame, you're really not going to see that anyway. All right. Okay, now, just like, yeah, don't be scared. Don't be scared. Be prepared. What I wanted to say is I have to be scared now because I have to do a tree right out there, right about there. But I don't know if it's dry enough yet. Because if you put wet paint into wet paint, it bleeds and spreads. So with watercolor, you can kind of just take a paper towel and dry it off. At least enough to be able to put something on top of it. So now I take a little bit smaller brush, wet it, yeah, I haven't touched it in years either, Margaret, until last week, I think. At least watercolors. Really haven't done acrylics either. Okay, I need a brown. Let's see, got to start with a lighter brown. And then you can always add more color. So where's the tree going to sit? Let's see, right here on top of this, right? So we'll start it. Right about then you think, oh no, what have I done? Hi, Sarah. She's back. There's a knobby old tree. Okay, I think I need a darker color to cover that. Yes, the washi tape is like that. You're right. Oh, this just looks awful at the beginning, doesn't it? It'll look better. Don't give up. That's another thing I remember when I was first painting. You get, as a beginner, you get to a place where, oh, I ruined it, and you never go back to it. When it's just at an awkward stage, like a teenager. You still love your child, even though they go through the teenage years. You don't toss them aside and start over. Just a little bit of shadow we'll use there later. And knots. And teaching the girls. You resemble that remark? Teaching the girls to paint was really a blessing. They, see, I stopped breathing, can't talk there for a moment. The big thing that we need to learn at the beginning is about primary colors. Anybody know what primary colors there are? Or what are the 3 primary colors? Yeah, it's getting a little better. Red, blue, and yellow. Yes, Delaney. And then, first you have your primary colors, then you have secondary colors. And I taught them the wheel of color. I don't have that out. I'll have to do that in a different video. But you have your secondary colors that if you mix them with your primary colors, you get a different shade of a color. And then you have your tertiary colors. And that kind of goes out one more layer in a circle away from the main primary colors. And you get another color, a kind of a three-dimensional look. And when you do that, if you go any farther than that, tertiary, three, then you start to get mud. You just get brown. But if you look, now, growing up in Idaho, living there for a long time, I would take a drive, especially when I was learning to paint really well, and it was really difficult to look out the window and see all the different colors of the different shades of green and browns and everything out. And I keep thinking to myself, what color would I paint that one? Oh no, I would just ruin that. See? I didn't like it, but okay. Stop messing with it. Yeah, or black. Yeah, well, white and black, I don't know what they're called. But they actually, especially the white, will ruin your the see-throughness. I forget the opaqueness of the paint, and make it more muddy itself. And we'll see that because I'm going to use a white pen right now. We can do that first while the brown trunk dries, so that I can do more. Actually, I should do more green now that it has dried before we do the white. I was going to put some little white sheep in there. You can't remember either, Margaret? Me either. Now, the stronger the color on this, in these layers, the more the sheep will stand out. On that lighter color, it wouldn't. And when I go to paint these, you know what's running through my head, what's running through yours. What song, Delaney? Pick one. Pepperleah. Margaret. I'll tell you what's running through mine. It looks like toes. That's cute. We are sheep and sheep are dumb from VeggieTales. I don't remember hearing that one. When I was little and in Sunday school, we would sing, I just want to be a sheep, ba, 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 ba. I just want to be a sheep, ba, 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 ba. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. I just want to be a sheep, ba, 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 ba. Okay, like another important aspect here that I forgot to mention is you need to remember where the light is coming from in your painting, because that tells you where your highlights and your shadows are going to be. And I have this lamp right from this direction coming from here, so my shadows will be on the right side of everything, like right in here. So this side will be a little bit darker. I haven't seen that either. Penguins. Okay, I think the sky is dry. So let's do a bit of the tree. Let's see here. I do more of an olive color on the tree. So I take my palette here, take some of the green and put it over here. Take some more water, some of the brown. Whoop, too much brown. Need more green. How about a darker green? Can you see that? There we go. Okay. O Lord, how excellent is thy name in all the earth. Sweet. Very nice. Okay, then I test it. Always test it. Is that about the right color? No. Glad I tested it. I need a little bit more. A little bluish. Like an evergreen, you know? Oh, that's dark enough. Okay. And all I'm going to do is start making leaf. Impressionistic leaves. How about that? Trying to think of a name. But I didn't make enough, and that's a really good lesson to make sure that when you're doing this, you use your color a little bit all over. There's more of that turquoise or bluish so that it all gets mixed in. Blended. There's more olive. Remember, the darker color is going to be on this side. And at first, I'm just getting the color in here. I don't like that bright green there. Well, that looks better against the blue. Hey, Strings and Pucks. How are you? Hey, that was a really nice, what do you call that? On your mixer. Review, I guess. Review on the mixer. I like that little mixer. I've got a Rhodes Aphex on board. Everything's digital. But that one looked really nice. And that was a great price. There, we can cover up some of the clouds. And shape the tree as we go. How are we doing on time? Okay, might take a little longer. I had planned on doing a mini painting, and maybe I should do that because otherwise we'll be here forever. So I guess, I'll let that dry and then work on the sheep, and we can finish the tree later. Yeah, it did look simple. It reminded me, actually, the mixer reminded me of the mixers we used in church a long time ago. Okay, this is what I've got now. It's a, I don't know, it's a white liquid pen. I don't know if I put the link in the description, but I will find it and add it later. It's just white paint, but it's in a pen form, so it's easy to put on the canvas, on the paper. But you push it to get the paint to come out through the brush, and then you can use it that way. That way you can control it a little bit better. Now, where shall we put our sheepies? Let's put one about here. And a little friend over here. Look like cotton balls, don't they? They'll look better. And maybe some little friends down here. Happy little sheep. Happy little sheep. And how about a bigger one? Oh, when we lived in Idaho, we would go to an apple orchard, and they had some sheep there. And they were so funny. They were in a pen. They told us, not to feed them the apples, but they would come looking for food out of your hand. And the female sheep would come over, bah, 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 and then the big male sheep would come over and go, bah, bah. That made all the kids laugh. I'm going to go back in and do another layer. I'm rushing it a bit, but I don't want to be here all day with you. To give it a deeper, thicker coat for the sheep, so you don't see the green coming through. Oops, I picked up green on my pen. Okay, I guess I can always finish it, and then I can always post it, a picture of it. Okay, where's my micro pen? No, I need a fine one. Whoop. I need a fine-tipped paintbrush to put the faces and the feet. Where's my black? Always check your color on your paper. Yep, that's my black. And then we're going to put some faces on our sheep. Yes, that counts. That's a different kind, though, not paper sheep. Let's see. Which way shall we have them face? Pretty soon, they really start looking like sheep. But like I said earlier, it's not in my nature to love watercolors because I like perfection. I like to control it, and watercolors are a bit free flowing. Even though I also have a free flowing side of me. Don't hem me in. My husband will agree. Uh-oh. He needs some feet. Are they looking like sheep? Paper sheep are too tough to eat. Yes, they are. Now, if you want me to do this again, let me know in the chat, and maybe you can come prepared with your own paints or crayons, as well as your cup of coffee. And I'd love to see some of your work. Oh, yeah, I need to show you something too. Michigan Daffodil did some Bible journaling. She put some of her artwork in her Bible. I encourage you to do some of that too. There. Sewing along while drinking tea. Good for you, Delaney. Prop that foot up and start sewing. I hope it's the one that you can. Well, I have a foot control on my sewing machine. Mine needs a checkup, a service. Well, thanks for showing up, Sarah. Thanks for being here. I'll have to stop by your place too. Have a wonderful evening. God bless you. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, I think that's about it. We've almost done a whole hour, but that gives you an idea of what you can do with watercolors. It doesn't take very long, and I probably used it a lot thicker, more like acrylics than true watercolor. And I will go ahead and finish the tree and the grasses and the water and the sheepy's eyes and things like that. And then I can post the finished product in the future. So please let me know if you want to do something like this again. Otherwise, I will just keep making the videos and then do the time lapse so you don't have to watch the whole thing. But sometimes I like to watch someone while they paint because it's calming. I like going to their channel and watching them paint away. And I learn things, the little things here and there, different techniques. But I thought I would just do the beginning one today in case any of you are interested in doing that. Thanks, Margaret. I appreciate that. It's not finished. I did one. It's a little farther along. I didn't. I know I switched the camera. I did a mini one as a book, kind of a test for what I was doing here, but it's different doing it on a little one compared to a larger canvas. Anyway, these are nice for bookmarks or putting in cards. And you can kind of see where I did the tree a little bit better, the shapes and all that. So, anyway, the verse for today was from Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures, beside the still waters. He restores my soul. I hope your soul was restored today. Watching, painting, resting a little bit. May God bless you as you go about whatever work He has for you today. Thanks for stopping by at Painting with Moni. Blessings. See you soon, here, there, or in the air.